This podcast may contain adult themes and strong language. Hello and welcome to episode 64 of Marbella with him and her. He is
PJ Lopez and she is
Hannah Murray. I've got a lot to remember all at the beginning.
You've got a lot to say now.
I do.
You're never short of words, so
That's very true.
It can't shut you up normally. So
all right, steady. There was an article that we discussed on Men Talk this week on my radio show that basically said men like to do DIY because it makes them feel manly.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's true?
Yeah, I like to screw a screw, hammer a nail.
Do you?
Not really, no.
No.
I'm not very good at DIY.
Well, I've done more than you this week.
It's not DIY, that's cleaning, and that's a woman's job.
I did some... Oh, steady on. I did some plumbing.
You did... Well, you found a leak and you tightened a nut.
I fixed it all on my own. I didn't call out a plumber or call you.
No, well done. I'm very pleased.
There was a leak under the sink, and I fiddled about with all the spinny things.
That's good plumbing talk. Yep.
And I found one that was loose, and I did righty-tighty on it, and it's all good.
Yep.
Stop the leak.
It did. Well done.
That will be €60, please.
That's just the call out.
Yeah.
Not for fixing it.
And I have Karchered the hell out of our gardens.
You have.
Oh, the cat's outside. I knew this would happen. Come on then.
She in?
Mm-hmm.
You have Karchered the patio, you've Karchered the back patio, and you've Karchered the front garden.
The terrace.
And the terrace. That's what I said.
Or did you mean... You didn't say the word terrace, so I didn't know what you meant.
I know what I meant.
Sounds like we have a massive house with loads of outdoor space. We don't really, but...
It's a decent size.
Yeah, we do have a townhouse with quite a bit of outside space.
But you have Karchered the hell out of it.
I've Karchered the hell out of it. But I love it. It's the best. It's the most satisfying job ever. And you don't realise how dirty it gets in the winter. You just get used to the fact that that's the colour of the path. And then once you get the Karcher on it...
The cat wants to join in. She wants to be part of the podcast. I'm going to have to let her out. She can't. She wants to go out. Come on, you. Come on. Come on. Yes, I love you. The cat is so pleased with her new clean front garden that she wanted to go back outside and lay on the dirt. Because there is no dirt.
She's not on the dirt. There isn't any.
Exactly.
Oh, love her. It does. It looks so clean. I forgot it's like a kind of red colour, isn't it?
More pink.
Pink colour. That sounds weird.
Well, pinky
like
red.
a Barbie house.
If you had your way.
Anyway, it looks fab. I also washed the car this week, so I have done some, manly things.
Well done.
Thank you.
Yep. Your dick is getting bigger.
Don't say that. Don't have one. Whereas you've been eating ice lollies.
I had a Round Trees fruit pastel ice lolly. First of the season.
That sounds pretty nice.
Actually, it was a bit disappointing, to be fair.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Was it not, full of flavour?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll stop.
Made my lips go
one.
numb as well. I didn't really like the sensation.
Why did it make your lips go numb?
Well, it's cold.
Okay. You're not built for
I prefer a cornetto.
Yes, okay.
Anytime, or a magnum.
But we're watching out what we're eating.
Yes, we are. Which is why, rather than choosing the cornetto, I chose the ice lolly.
Okay.
Which was probably full of sugar. But...
Can we talk about your health thing?
Yes.
Okay. So when you went to golf...
Yes. When I went to golf, I was talked into doing a not blood test. You've got me going at that. You keep calling it blood test.
No,
blood pressure test.
Blood pressure test.
And I said, no, I don't need to do that. I'm fine. Why would I need to do a blood pressure test? So I did it. And then the guy looked at the numbers and then did it again. And he said, yeah, if I were you, I'd get a blood pressure test kit at home and do it twice a day and keep a diary for 2 weeks and then take those results across to your doctor. It seemed it was a little bit higher than it should be.
Quite a bit higher.
All right.
Well,
Set the scene.
be honest.
So my mum suffered from high blood pressure, so maybe part of it is hereditary.
Mm-hmm.
But I looked up sort of things that can make your blood pressure go high, and it's things like salt, and it's lifestyle, and it's drinking too much alcohol, and it's not having enough leafy veg, and all different things, the usual sort of things that you'd expect. So I have actually cut out a lot of salt. I'm doing more regular exercise. I'm not drinking as much alcohol at all. And made some lifestyle adjustments, and already within a week it's coming down to, at one stage this week, which is the lowest it's been, it was just high blood pressure as opposed to what they call hypertension. So I was, when they first did it, I would say it was medium hypertension, which is one before the top, so it doesn't mean it's good. But I'm now mild hypertension to high blood pressure, high normal, they call it high normal. So it is coming down. And that's without making too much adjustment. So I think if I keep going, it should keep coming down. I was putting a lot of salt on food.
It's because we watch so many cooking shows, and they're always banging on about, it's
I
not
have to do the little
not
hand
seasoned.
move, that little hand thing. And
the little hand.
and then put it
Nobody
on.
can see that, but I know what you mean.
The little hand movement, and then put the salt on. But I was putting it on possibly where we didn't need it. I was having soup every day. But it was bought soup from the supermarket, and possibly that had a lot of extra salt in it.
Yeah, they add salt and sugar, don't they? It's not good. So you've been having salads every day this week?
I have a salad a day. Keeps the blood pressure away.
Very good. It's amazing, though, the difference that you've made in a week. It just goes to show, if you want to, a person, I don't mean you, want to make a difference to health, you can have a look at the lifestyle changes that you need to do, and ideally implement them quite quickly and stick to them, and they can make differences quickly.
Yeah.
To some conditions, I'm not saying everything.
Yeah. I'm feeling very tired and lethargic today. Maybe I need sugar or salt.
Yeah, you need like a massive beer. I have done some interesting interviews this week. I interviewed Simon Tolken, who is the grandson of JRR Tolken, who wrote The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. Which
Great series, that.
Oh, you watched the film series?
Yeah, I actually didn't get round to reading the books. My cousin read them many, many, many years ago and loved them. And I never really sort of was into that type of books. I was still a Secret Seven person. But
Fair enough.
Not Famous Five, Secret Seven.
Okay. But yeah, he was really, really interesting. He only started writing when he was in his early 40s, because he said that he was massively overshadowed by the huge legacy and didn't think for 1 minute that he'd write novels. So he became a lawyer in London, very successful. And then it was during the pandemic that he just decided to write, decided to give it a go. It was actually when the last of the films came out, the one by the New Zealand guy, what's it called? I can't think of his bloody name. Anyway, the main three film series, when the last one came out, he sort of said to himself, what legacy am I going to have? And wanted to do something similar, basically. He doesn't write fantasy or anything like that. It's completely different. His book that we spoke about, which isn't his first book by any means, he's now in his late 60s, is called The Palace at the End of the Sea. And it's set in the 1930s. It's partly set around Ellis Island Immigration Centre in New York, which is what the Palace at the End of the Sea is. And also in Spain, the Spanish Civil War. He made up a village in Andalusia, funnily enough. So there's a connection to Spain. And his follow-up, which he's already written, that comes out in September, is set in Barcelona. So a lot of Spain connections. So it was really lovely chatting to him. We actually spoke for half an hour. I stayed behind after my show to record the interview with him because he lives in California. So because of time difference, it made sense to do that. And I didn't get home till 7. We literally spoke for half an hour. So it's going to be a bumper book show that day.
Yeah, looking forward to listening to that.
And I interviewed Michael Obiora. When I saw his face and saw the different things he'd done, I was like, oh my goodness, I know him. He was in Grange Hill as a young lad and went on to do various different things, including Hotel Babylon, which you and I loved.
Loved Hotel Babylon, one of my favourite series of the time.
Yeah.
It had
Tamsin Outhwaite.
Tamsin Outhwaite, and who was the main guy that was in it?
See, this is just... it's like on the top of my... This is making us seem old. We can never remember the names of stuff.
Him.
It's embarrassing. I can see him.
Yes, me too.
I can't think of his name. Anyway, great series. Michael Obiora played the gay receptionist. The receptionist of the hotel that was really gay and funny and
Yeah,
brilliant.
he was hysterical.
He was really
good.
funny. So he actually confessed quite a lot in the interview. He talked about being a child actor, because I asked what it was like. And you could tell he was quite traumatised from it. He said, not great. It's not for everyone. I wouldn't recommend it.
Wow.
And he told a story, which is kind of what inspired this book. He's written a couple of other novels, but the book we spoke about was a children's book, which he'd written thinking about his daughter. Because when he was at school, he was filming Grange Hill at the time, but he still went to proper school. And he said that he was just walking along the corridor, smiling. And the teacher said, "Stop smiling, Michael. The camera's not on you now."
Oh, so it was a bit of jealousy stuff coming out as well.
That's what I said, yeah. But he said that's really affected him, and even now as an adult, he thinks about it. Imagine an adult telling a child to stop smiling. And
that's just cruel.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
awful.
It's not what a teacher should be doing. They should be encouraging, not
exactly.
the
With
opposite.
all these
awful,
mental health issues, you don't want to be stopping a child from being happy. Really, really horrible.
That's like telling the overweight kid in gym, well, don't bother doing any gym, you're overweight.
Exactly.
It's no different.
It's just awful. These little comments that teachers or parents say to their kids can literally affect them for the rest of their lives. I think most adults will remember something that was said by a parent or by a school teacher that was negative that you still remember.
Oh yeah.
It's a big thing.
It can have a massive effect for the rest, as he said, for the rest of his life.
So he's got a lovely relationship with his daughter. He's got a little daughter, and he's determined to allow her to shine and be happy in whatever she wants to do. So
Good.
it's really nice. There's been a lot of illness this week. My dad and Sheila have both had a nasty bug and have been off everything all week. They didn't come to choir, they didn't come to either of the quizzes. Dad and I didn't meet for brunch. It's been awful, really, really bad. They thought initially it was food poisoning because it was just Sheila, and it was straight after she'd eaten. They were away last weekend, but then Dad got it a day or so later, and they've both had it for pretty much a week. So that's
they said
horrible.
it's like awful stomach cramps, like painful stomach cramps.
Yeah, Dad said he's never felt stomach cramps like it. Really bad. And I've had a weird week. I've had a sort of lingering sore throat and headaches, and I never get headaches, touch wood. But I have this week. So I did my Pilates class on Monday, but then I didn't do any of my other classes, and it's been horrible and weird because it was so good last week doing 4 classes. So I've gone from 4 to 1. But when you've got a headache and a bit of a sore throat, and it was affecting my whole body. I felt really tired and lethargic and no energy and felt really low in general. It was weird.
Yeah, it wasn't a good week, really.
No,
in the
it wasn't.
Murray household.
Absolutely. But it was Saturday morning, I think, was the first morning when I got up and felt absolutely great, which is why I've been Karchering and DIYing.
Yeah, but it was like polar opposite. You just woke up with energy and you wanted to do everything you could. It's like all the energy that you didn't have for the rest of the week came out in one day.
Yeah, it was great.
It was good, yeah. We got her cleaning. I set her to work and off she went.
We did go out on Friday night, the Friday Frolics group, because our friends Paul and Sylvia, it was their last one before going back to the UK. Brexit, say no more. And we went to Bombay Grill, which is our favourite Indian in San Pedro, and we made healthier choices.
Well, I always have the chicken madras.
You don't always. You normally have the chicken tikka masala
I haven't had that
madras
for
hot.
ages. You haven't been out with the last few frolics that have gone on. I usually do it when you're not there, when you're doing something else. There's been at least the last 2 that I've been to and you haven't been there.
Okay.
And I always have chicken madras now.
Have we drifted apart that much that I no longer know what your regular Indian food is?
No, you're just not invited to frolics.
Yes, I am.
We let you come this week because we felt sorry for you because you've been ill.
You mean? It's not true. So yes, you had a chicken madras.
Yeah, even when we have takeaways, I had chicken madras. Have you just forgotten?
Remember. I don't remember. In my head, your chicken tikka masala madras hot.
No, that was the old days.
Okay, but we didn't have any naan bread.
No, but I did order roti.
Yeah.
which was thin bread. It's still fried. I didn't expect it to be fried.
No, so it still probably wasn't great.
But it was better than a big naan bread.
It was. I had saag paneer, which is loads of spinach and the little bits of cheese, which was really nice.
Yeah.
Yum, yum, yum.
And we didn't go out afterwards.
We didn't. I actually had, because I hadn't been drinking all week, not feeling well, so that was a nice, easy way to not drink. So I was feeling a little bit better on Friday night, so I ordered a gin and tonic, but I didn't even finish it. I made it last the whole evening because it wasn't, I just wasn't feeling right. It's weird.
You weren't feeling it.
No, when you're not feeling well, alcohol doesn't kind of sit well. I don't know why.
Because you're not well.
Yeah, I guess. So it's good. It's good that your body's going, nah, don't want this.
Yeah. And it's got hot, hasn't it? It's
my
boiling.
goodness.
It's like a proper heat wave at the end of May. I mean, wow.
Yeah, it's so hot. We had rain a week or so ago, didn't we?
And now we're sort of 27, 28 degrees. Madrid was 40 degrees. And my sister's in Madrid. She went to see the Ed Sheeran concert.
Yeah, quite a few people did. I've seen lots of cool photos and videos. But we're going to Madrid next weekend, so we're even crazier.
Yes, because you want to see the Friends experience.
Yay!
You're going to go to Central Perk.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I can't tell you. It's really exciting.
So we're going to drive, aren't we?
It's silly, isn't it, when you think about it? All I'm going to be doing is like sitting on a sofa and standing in a fake kitchen.
And we're going to pay for the privilege.
Yeah, it's not like we're meeting the cast.
Or going to the actual set. It's a make-believe set.
Oh, it's as close as you can get. So yes, Friday Frolics was really good. Saturday I did my second quiz of the week at Urban Chai, which we do once a month on a Saturday. And unlike your dire performance on Thursday, you won.
Yes, the Thursday performance wasn't our best.
No.
In fact, it could be up there with our worst.
It was up there with or down there with the worst, yes.
Yeah.
And it made me say afterwards, well, this will prove that we don't cheat and I don't give my husband the answers.
We were down 2 team members, but it still was very, very bad. We'll ignore that one because we won on Saturday.
Yes, because I did give you the answers.
No, don't say that. The people listen to the quiz and they'll think that's true.
I'm just joking. Obviously. So you had a good team and it went really well.
Yep, it was, that's when you've got a team that's got different knowledge. And each team member had that different knowledge and it worked really, really well.
Yeah, that's what you need, isn't it? That makes a quiz team when you've got someone who's obsessed with sport, someone who loves their music and
what
film
I loved is the younger member of the team got some of the questions that the older member of the team didn't, even though it was our era.
Oh, wow.
But she was the one that got David Letterman and things like that. She was just banging straight out with it,
Well done, Maeve. Nice one. That's really good. And really cool thing happened on Thursday quiz. There was a few teams of people who were on holiday who had booked and some which hadn't booked but happily played the quiz. And it wasn't the busiest one. In fact, both quizzes weren't as busy this week. Loads of people were away and it's been an odd week.
It's half term, so I think maybe people are doing stuff for the kids. So just about to go back and yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so it's been a strange one. So on Thursday, there was a team of people that called themselves the Dubai crowd because they said, oh, we all know each other from Dubai. And then when I was collecting the papers and stuff at the end, one of them said, oh, thanks, Hannah, really enjoyed the quiz. And I said, oh, you know my name? And she said, yeah, we listened to your podcast. I was like, oh, that's really nice. I said, do you live here or are you here on holiday? And they said, we've actually just bought a place in San Pedro. And the husband said, yes, so I was doing all, as much research I could into Marbella and San Pedro because we don't really know the place. And we found your podcast. And I said, oh, that's great. That's really cool. And that's, that's why we chose Marbella as a name in the podcast, because that's exactly what we were hoping, that people would find the podcast because they were looking for a Marbella podcast. And he said they drove here from Scotland and basically listened to our podcast for 4 days.
Poor people. How? Don't think I could listen to our podcast for 4 days.
Oh, brilliant. So that was really cool. So lovely to meet them. And hopefully now they've bought in San Pedro, they're going to be regulars at the quiz.
Yes, that would be nice.
And just a couple of articles from the Sir in English this week.
It was difficult to find some decent articles because it's all doom and gloom this week.
It really is.
Yeah, there's been some nasty things happening and people getting knocked off of things and people driving over the top of things.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember reading earlier in the week that a couple of guys on Santa Clara Golf Course drove their buggy off the course into a ravine and one of them had to be helicoptered out.
There was a little boy from Northern Ireland who died in a swimming pool, drowned. There's been some awful things.
Yeah, I think there was somebody jumped out of or fell off a balcony in a hotel. So yeah, some really nasty things. And unfortunately, a bit of gangland stuff happened up in Fuengirola.
Yeah. So I was going to say, so we don't want to tell you about all of that, but we just kind of have.
Yeah, well, we're not gone into detail, but yeah. But we did dig out some decent articles that are a little bit more fulfilling.
Yes, there was one talking about Costco in Malaga. They're speeding up the process of getting this Costco built. Basically, there's a cinema complex, the Malaga Nostrum shopping centre, that they're going to be demolishing from the 9th of June in order to build this Costco. I've never been to a Costco, but apparently they are amazing.
Aren't they Dutch or something?
No, they're American.
Okay.
But they have them in 14 countries. I've spoken to people who've been to them in the UK. And I'm not sure if they're the same sort of thing as... What's the one where you have to pay for... Metro? No. Where you have to pay for it and you need a business. Macro.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's like that or whether it's just a really cheap supermarket. I'm not sure.
Oh, that would be interesting. Well, actually, coming away from Sir in English, but talking about supermarkets, I'm very excited. I know we've got a bit of a nightmare trying to get into La Colonia, the shopping centre just at the top of where you used to have TRE Studios and where I used to work in a real estate agent there. Mm-hmm. They are building, I believe, a Lidl.
Is that what's happening? Because the whole roads...
Yeah, they're putting sort of infrastructure in. I mean, I read a long time ago that's where they were going to build a Lidl. I'd be very disappointed if it turns out to be an office block.
Yeah, definitely.
Very disappointed. But I do believe it's a Lidl. So watch this space.
That will be exciting. And we definitely need to go to Granada. We were going to go a while ago and then we couldn't make it work for some reason. But so we definitely need to go again because Bar FM has come up as the 17th out of a list of 800 in the opinionated about dining list of best informal restaurants on the continent. Apparently it's been in the list every year since 2021. So best informal restaurants. So they're not fine dining, obviously.
Okay.
They're more casual, generally a little bit cheaper, but apparently really amazing food. So 17 out of 800 is pretty good, isn't it?
Wow. I read also in the Sir in English that they're looking to build a high-speed train link from Malaga to Granada.
Yeah, I'll believe that when I see it.
Yeah, well, we need one here to Marbella first.
It's quite, exactly. That's been discussed for at least the last 25 years. Well, that is it from us. I think it's a little bit of a shorter one today, but I'm sure you don't mind that, especially the guys from Scotland.
Yes, we're going to give you a break.
Have a great week. It is goodbye from him.
And it's goodbye from her.